Welcome back, viewers, to Train Fever. I'm your host, Peter Choo, once more, and well, by popular request, we're back and we're continuing our Let's Try, mini Let's Play, if you will, at this point for this game. And overall, what I've done here is that I've generated a new, not so hilly, flat map, in fact. And well, I figured we'd just take a look at this game for some time more. Honestly, I want to keep this series down to the single-digit numbers of episodes. The main thing being is that in the future there'll be a few major releases, of course, with Stronghold Crusader 2 and Alpha Centauri in a month or so. And with that said, I wanted to just in general budget enough time, so I mean you could do or I can do university things on or during the day, not on the side, and do this in the night, but also have like a decent amount of different series going on at the same time, so it won't be such a major problem. But anyhow, for now we've generated a nice lovely flat map. It's a medium-sized map, not a small one, and one thing I've got to say is that it is just still very beautiful nevertheless, and it still has a few of those hills and valleys and just absolutely wonderful areas. So one thing that I would really like to see is perhaps some cliff faces and amongst other things. So we already know the general basics of the game, so that's good. One thing that I didn't show you guys last time or at least I don't think I showed you this, but the game has a contour map system, so you can check the actual elevations and all. It makes it quite handy for just checking out the different locations of things and amongst other vital things like the such there. And well, I think what we'll do here for this episode is that I'm going to build, once again, starting off with a transport system coming from the towns, mostly due to the fact that I find them much easier to build, and later on we'll build, say, something to transport goods. So yeah, I guess we'll just do that. What I'm thinking of doing right now is that I want something to transport stuff from this town right here, what is the town name here? Halstead, to the area over here of Spalding, and I think that'll just be a circuit like that. I also wanted to go over here to Lynmouth and Lighton and Lynmouth, so that is also one of the things, and I just want to keep this onto the same river or side of the river. So I'll see what I can do here about getting, say, something like this set up. Is this road actually connected? I think it is, but I think I'll pass on making that connection. I think I'll get it to just wrap around like that. We can be fairly generous with these, so we'll do that. And yeah, I guess we'll just get the game in full motion this time, and hopefully we'll be able to make a very elaborate network of different stations and amongst other things inside this episode. So I think we'll drop a station right there. It should be a nice and flat one because it should be a nice and flat map, so hopefully we won't be able to, or rather we won't have to deal with some of the problems that we saw last time in those hilly areas. And with that said, we're going to move over here, and this is the one that I'm more so worried about right here, but it looks like this connection will work for the most part fine. This is going to be kind of weird here. I think I'll actually get it to join up like this, and following that, the one over here should be just right inside this area, and this one is not bad as well, so that we'll put down those. And we'll just link these up, and we'll just get the we'll just get things going. So right, we'll get the track out, and we'll start linking these areas up. And would you look at that, the terrain for this map actually gives us a nice, lovely setting for this nice scenic route through the valley over here. So I'm gonna see whether or not we can perhaps get something along the lines of that done here. And I think what I'll do is that I'll just do a straight portion of track right here. And yeah, unfortunately this problem is, it seems to be fairly common, where it's just like your tracks will at times have to go through just practically the middle of nowhere. And for example, right now I think the game's trying to compensate for the fact that our track is going through the terrain and all, but it's having quite some difficulty doing that. But there. Looks like it's for the most part fixed. So we'll get this thing to wind right through these areas. And I see a nice valley opening, so at least this will hopefully save on the amount of cash we spend in just the game's way of dealing with the different, I want to say, just terrain elevations here. So we'll get that through. We just slow boat and build it through just like that. And what I think I want to do here is that I want to make a bit of a roundabout, checking that speed. This is going to be at 50. I would prefer it if it was a bit faster. 56 is fine with me, so I think we'll cap it like that. And yeah, that middle thing is, this isn't the angle, mind you. I think I said it was the angle somewhere earlier, but it's the maximum speed a train can stay on the road or on the rail at that point without, say, you know, having some problems. So that's that. And over here, what are we gonna do? That's gonna cause some problems. I think we'd build a minor stint like that, wrap it around like that, and that is gonna be much cheaper if we go on the land instead of going under. So there we go. I actually really like the soundtrack for this game. It's definitely something, to say the least. And there, would you look at that? So now all we had to do is just link these two portions up. There we go, solid connection. And this station should be set. So with that said, I mean, I think we'll just bridge over here. We'll do something like that. That isn't too bad. 14 grand. So, oh, actually, there's a collision. There we go. 27 isn't that bad either. And there, it looks like we have the first stretch of stuff done. And what I think I'll do with these railroad lines going forwards from here is that I think I'll just follow the road, really, because it looks like the road has a good general idea as to where it's going. And what I think I'll do here is that I'll just put a gentle curve back and forth, kind of like a roller coaster ride. Not really, though. It's not exactly the greatest thing to have, obviously, on a transport type of situation. But the main thing is that, yeah, the game really has a problem compensating for the height differentials of the terrain here. And instead of, say, having some options for like brakes and all, it'll just keep going up like that, which is really, really weird. I guess at one point you're just not supposed to care about it, because I mean the amount of cash you have is just so great. So yeah, the hill decreases faster than, say, the rail is able to compensate for it, so it creates those problems. But I guess I guess if you really cared about it, it'll come down to, say, how you balance it out or something along the lines of that. Anyhow, we're gonna stick with this though, so we'll give this we'll get some sort of connection going like that. And I'm kind of future-proofing this, but I think it works better in my head than what you see here is one big part of it though. So let's get these two portions over here. Connect these two portions right like that. So that'll be a solid junction, and we have we're almost done. We're almost have the thing set up here. This place should be fairly easy to set up now that we have most of the hard part done. So now we should be able to just go straight, not over here. There we go. And we should just be able to get this to go forwards, really, for a little to no problems, hopefully. Oh no, poor crop fields. Those are just gonna have to disappear. And that was what happened, I think, historically, when the railroad came in. They just buy the stuff nearby and just go right through. And if they didn't, I think they resorted to some pretty shady practices to do so. Right, so there we go. Now we're fairly close to the town. And for this town, I figured we'd do like a bit of a wraparound like that. So I figured this town right here, Halstead, could be a junction area in the event that we wanted to future-proof our network. So with that said, let's get, well, first and foremost, let's build this piece by piece over here so it doesn't cut a giant valley into the terrain. But I figured what we do here is that we make this terminal the head terminal of this area, really. And oh, actually, that's going to be a weird connection. But I'm going to see whether or not we can perhaps do something like this, and then get these two to blend together, hopefully. Yeah? No. This part is going to be weird. I wanted these two things to blend together. This way, I mean, I could probably build a depot on one of these locations, so I guess this will work. We'll build it something like that, just because I don't think we have any other options, but we'll do something like this, and then we'll build a tram depot, hopefully right here. And I guess that'll be our depot for this this track, but as you can see now we have a full setup of different areas done and all. So now, as we've seen before, let's get the basic setup for buses and all running. And with that said, let's do depot for buses. We'll put one there. Put one over here perhaps. Also put one right here, and would you look at that, some mini boxes of supplies are heading down the road, getting into the town, so that's good. And for stations, this is going to be a bit messy, but I think it'll just work either way. So in reverse order, we're going to have one stop right there, have one stop right there. This is going to go all the way around the edge of the town, so we'll have one right there. We should probably have one inside the leisure portion of the town as well. One right over here, and one inside like the heart zone of the commercial area, so something like that. And we're gonna make a route here in just a second. So let's do new line. It's gonna go from, oh that's right, we forgot to put a terminal station as well, so we'll do a terminal station. This will be a big plaza area, so we'll do the red line and we'll add a station. So we'll start from the terminal here, it'll go right over there to Mill Lane, I guess, to Chester Road, to New Road, to Kings Road, to North Road, to Park Road, and that'll be one thing. So that'll be one line setup, and we'll get something to run on that shortly. Likewise, over here we're going to do something fairly similar. So starting off, don't forget this time, we're going to put that down right there. And overall, let's see. Let's get the tram line to enter on this side. So it's gonna bounce through there. One stop in leisure, one stop, or actually, I think we'll do two stops in residential. And then one along the way back, and that'll be also another chain. So I'm just trying to get this done quickly is the thing. There, not exactly the most efficient route, but I think that'll work for now. We can of course fine-tune these inside the future. Not that I think we need to for now. And exact same thing over here. Plug down the transport main terminal, the one that can take two spots. And ooh, this one is actually quite a large town with a nice back area. So I think these people just have to tough it out. So we're going to put a single station on this side of the river. Later on, we might want to expand, of course, but for now, that'll have to do. And we'll do some sort of a circuit like this, and later on this town will hopefully grow, and hopefully all of these stations will of course profit from it. So let's see, this is gonna be the way into the town, this is gonna be the way out of the town, and that's gonna get all of our transport routes set up. And then we just have to get the yellow train line set up here to wrap to the different stations and back. And that'll be it, really. Oh, actually, I think there might be a slight break in the line on the yellow track, but we'll fix that in a second. So for now, let's get some road vehicles going. So let's do, I'm gonna say 2 stagecoaches, no 3. Let's get 3 stagecoaches going. And this is green line, so we'll set that to line 2. That'll get things going over here. This one should, yeah, this one is red line, so we'll go by road vehicles, 1, 2, 3, set all to line 1. And over here, same thing. So 3 stagecoaches and line blue. So those guys will go and do their thing. On the train front, let's buy 1 train, let's buy one of those Spanish something trains, and let's attach, I think last time we had right around 5 carriages working, so I think we'll go with 6 this time, just to be sure that it works, and we'll set that to line 4, and we'll try it and see whether or not it can go. Looks like it's running. So I think we have our network set up here, so it looks like it's doing its thing. and hopefully we'll be able to get some cash soon. Ah, I see. This is the area that it's having some problems in. So, let's get the rail, and let's just link these two up. And there we go. Now the yellow line shows up. So, perfect. So, this will link up all the areas together, and people will hopefully go on this line in just a few minutes here. So, if I speed up the game, we should see some, some stuff being moved. Right, so currently, yeah, our cash is kind of in the gutter. We only have 700 some grand, but as soon as that jumps back up to right around 2 million from our existing efforts right here, I'm going to reinvest that, and I'm going to see whether or not we can perhaps expand our transport to incorporate a few more towns first and foremost, and afterwards we'll see whether or not we could perhaps incorporate some industry. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the fact that, like, for example, you have like this oil refinery right here and a station right here. I can't use it because this is technically the passenger one. So with that said, we'll see what we can do about changing that. This thing requires oil. I see oil. Is this? Yeah, no, that's a coal mine. Thought I saw oil here nearby, but I see it's coming over here. So yeah, one thing about linking up these production areas, the industrial ones seem to cost more just due to from the looks of it, just due to the sheer amount of stations that you need to have doing their thing for it to be profitable. So yeah, I would much prefer transporting people. Though I believe historically, yeah, railroads were started off by the need for transporting for goods, not people, but for goods. So it's kind of ahistorical there, but you know what? Hey, it works. And with that said, we'll go with it. So this should wrap around. It should go into the station, and everything should be fine here. And how's the bus routes doing? The buses seem to be making us a very, very small amount of money, but that should pick up. And the amount of people who require transport should also build up. So yeah, we have 8 people here. That's good enough. And eventually some of those guys will make it to the train station. Those will start generating us revenue. Right. So I wanted this area to be semi-future-proofed in the sense that what I wanted to do is that I wanted there to be like a few shortcuts on the map for our trains, if you will, to put it like that. So, for example, what I wanted to do here is, first and foremost, I think the technique for building these is that we put this block here, and then afterwards we grab some length of the road, and all I wanted to do is this works too, I wanted to split off here, or something along the lines of that. Oh, actually, the train's going in this order. That is weird. So that's telling me that we have another break in the line somewhere over here. But what I wanted the train network to do is that I wanted to put in a separate piece right here that'll drastically shorten the route time. I guess we don't really need to save that much cash now that we have the basics of it going. So I think we'll just swap it over here. And I just wanted to make a connection like that, so then we have this this middle thing, which will allow us to move things slightly faster in the event that, say, we put a train on this network that doesn't perhaps transport, say select where people, and just transport, say, goods instead. And I really dislike this part of lining these two things up, but we'll go for something like that. This part will have to bend around. And there, that works. Well, no, curvature is too high. What is that? Is it saying that, yeah, the gap here is too much? I guess I can remove this part. And there, I guess that'll just be something, a straight connection like that. So, that'll be that. Checking out the tram network here. Let's get line 4 reconfigured. Because I think line 4 is just doing its own thing. I'm gonna order this to go back to the depot if it can. Might not be able to. Because currently it's bounding we're all the way over here for nothing. I'm just gonna sell this train. I'm gonna put it back together here. Or you know what? I could probably make an alternative depot somewhere else. So for example, just right here, we'll just have one just for the sake of like building this area. Just put this thing right there, and now we should be able to find path to depot. What is it doing? Oh, it should be able to go back into some depot, but it doesn't want to, which is weird. Can I reassign it right here? Oh, actually, this works too. I can just remove all the stations. So, let's see. It's gonna go this way. That's fine. So we want to peg off that station, add station. Come on. No, it still wraps around here. That is really weird, because this should be a complete loop. Yeah, but I see now that there's a breakage here. This track is all broken up, actually. That is weird as all hell, because it was one solid piece. I mean, last time I remembered this area being... It yellowed up. So at least now it should work. There, so we'll get rid of these once more. We'll reset it. And there, finally. So now it'll wrap around and do its thing. So yay, this can finally be profitable. So, yeah, so now hopefully more people will arrive at the station, pick up their goods, and get along, or, you know, start moving along the network that we have set up here.